Welcome to Ask Dr. Geier Live. Sorry, I can't even talk. I'm running fairly late today, over 15 minutes late. I apologize for that. I hope wherever you're watching, hope you're making today your masterpiece. That's right, it's your time to ask orthopedic questions, injuries, surgery, recovery, rehab, health, wellness, whatever it is. Remember, this is not medical advice. Again, I'm Dr. David Geier, triple board certified orthopedic surgeon, sports medicine specialist, and anti-aging and regenerative medicine expert. I help you feel, look, and perform your best regardless of age or injuries. Georgia, hello. It is good seeing you. Why can I not get your comment on the screen? I don't know what's going on. There we are. It's good to see you. And our first question, and because I'm late, I'm not expecting many people. People probably gave up on me, but Nias asks, Doctor, just dislocated my shoulder 2 days prior, relocated it by myself because it's the 5th time. I started gym, my physical activity again. Is this fair? So two points about that that are worth talking about. One, yes, I'm a big fan of getting back into activities that you can do comfortably. Here's the problem when you have a shoulder dislocation, that is very frequently, especially an anterior dislocation where it comes out the front, very likely to become a recurrent problem. Some studies have it as high as 80%. Maybe it's not that high, but because very frequently you tear the labrum, the cartilage bumper off the front of the socket, and so it very often needs surgery. Certainly by a 5th dislocation, that is proven that it is going to be unstable, and every time that ball comes out of the socket, it can do more and more damage to the bone and cartilage, leading to arthritis down the road. That's where I typically come in, helping people get over their arthritis, recover from their arthritis. But having said that, typically that somebody with recurrent shoulder dislocations, it's going to eventually need to be something fixed surgically. It can usually be done arthroscopically, but still a fairly significant recovery. As far as can you do things in the meantime, yeah, most people can. It's just a matter of how likely is it that it's going to happen again with fairly mundane activities, turning open a door, wiping down a counter, something like that. It starts to happen easier and easier. All right. Conavir. Why am I struggling with this today? There we go. Good evening, doctor. Pain in elbow, inflammation, triceps tendon. Doctor gave me antibiotics, physiotherapy. I'm curious, inflammation. What are the antibiotics for? I'm not exactly sure. I don't hear infection in that unless there's concern. Sometimes on the tip of your elbow there, called the olecranon, you can get a bursitis, called an olecranon bursitis. The majority of the time, that's not infectious. A septic bursitis is just related to inflammation, and you wouldn't treat that with antibiotics. You would treat it with things like ice and avoiding pressure directly on it. Sometimes, even though I'm not super excited about this, especially repeatedly, but drawing the fluid off and injecting cortisone into it, I've seen that cause an infected bursitis, what's called a septic bursitis, and then it ends up needing surgery. So I don't typically recommend that. But having said that, that can be an option. But yeah, typically not antibiotics unless it's already septic. Physical therapy, always good for elbows because elbows get very stiff very quickly. So that is almost always a good thing for elbow injuries. Other than that, it's hard to say without kind of knowing the exact nature of the problem. All right, looks like that may be all we have today. I'll stay on for another minute or so. If you'd like to come see me, and I have more and more people that reach out to me every day now because of these live shows and everything else, I would love to see you. I do it in Charleston, South Carolina. I do not do telehealth visits because I don't have a medical license in 48 of the states, and you can't ship medications, for instance, to other countries. So, and we certainly don't. So people come to see me at our practice in Charleston, South Carolina. I would love to talk to you about far more options for your injury, your pain, your arthritis than just cortisone, going in surgically and cleaning up the knee or shoulder, or joint replacement. So if you'd like to do that, the link to my website is in the description below. I'd love for you to reach out, fill out the contact page. My assistant and I will help set that up. All right, Georgia. Golly, I am sorry I'm struggling with the getting these things on the screen. I thought walking is good for my knee, but it's so painful now. 19,500 steps. Very impressive. I wonder how many miles that is. That's really great. Walking is generally good. There was a study last year, 2022, that shows that walking is actually good for the cartilage. That is generally true. Now, whether or not that causes pain really gets at what the underlying issue is. So sometimes what I'll do, I don't discourage people from walking. I don't really discourage people from running, but I do have them while they're going through a painful period. For instance, I just had an ultra triathlete patient yesterday. In fact, her most recent competition, she did a continuous triple triathlon, which is 3 times the swim, which is a total of 7.2 miles swimming consecutively, then whatever 112, 336 miles of cycling, and then what would that be, over 78 miles of running, all back to back. And so you can bet it was breaking down her body. What I told her, right now, running is bothering her, but cycling actually makes it feel better. So for a short period of time, in addition to physical therapy and some other things, I'm having her focus on cycling to minimize pressure. So again, not medical advice, but that's something I usually, like I said, big fan of walking, big fan of running, actually. I dispute any evidence that running actually damages the cartilage in the knee. That argument, there's very little scientific literature to support that in an otherwise healthy knee. But having said that, sometimes alternating the activities can be a good thing. Oh, that's why. Went to Scotland, enjoyed the holiday. That's awesome. That I have never been. My parents have been. They absolutely loved Scotland. And it is good to see you from Denmark. Have not talked to you in a while. I hope everything is going well. Again, I am really sorry, everybody, that I was 15 minutes late. That will not happen again. Also, the software that I use to send this, Ecamm Live, and I use a service called Restream. Ecamm is the software that allows me to put everything on the screen and have the countdown timers and all that. Restream allows me to send it to multiple platforms: Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube being the main one. Anyway, Ecamm, apparently in their new update, and I'm going to update it after we get off of this, now allows you to send video feeds, video streams, live streams to Instagram. And so that may be something I try out in February. So if you're interested, I don't do a lot of Instagram, but I am starting to do Instagram, and I'm really committed over the next few weeks to get it up to where I even post a short little video daily, or at least a post daily. So that may be one of the things I do. It would probably not be the same one as here. I don't know that I can do all of those and Instagram at the same time, because again, the vertical feed and all that. So maybe I'd do 12:30 on Instagram, or maybe I'd do a different day of the week. But pay attention to that. Follow me on Instagram. I really am going to make a concerted effort. Instagram is kind of one of those that I do like as far as a medium goes. I end up wasting more time on it than I'd like to. So I have to figure out how I can contribute content, post content, and then get off, and then just limit my consumption to other times of the day. So for what that's worth, Niaz, I'm going to get this. Thank you, doctor. 5th dislocation, not that painful as much as before. That's typically true. It typically becomes less and less common. Recovered in a few days. I'm just saying, and I'm not giving you advice. What I'm trying to say is it happens easier and easier and becomes hard to do normal activities without it dislocating. That's why most people end up needing to get it fixed. Plus, again, the risk of future arthritis goes up every time that shoulder pops out of socket. Now, if it's not going completely out of socket and it's just partial, maybe that risk isn't quite as much. All right, let's see, who did I miss? I see Coronavir, I see your comment, but I don't see that. I don't know if it's in the comments and not the chat, but it didn't come through. So anyway, I will be here next 3 consecutive Fridays, preferably on time. I very much hope to be. So if you have other questions, or if Kustrum Sanini, I can't see it in the comment, has a question, then definitely join us next Friday or the next following 2 Fridays after that. Thank you so much. Hope you have a fantastic weekend. Everybody that's here regularly, especially Ann and George's, good to see you as always. But all of you, I think Karanvir, I see you fairly frequently. So very, very excited. and you're so welcome. I very much appreciate being here. YouTube's my favorite, no question. If I only did YouTube, I'd be fine with it, but I am trying to have more of a presence on the other platforms. Try to be a little more active on Twitter and Instagram especially. So have a fantastic weekend. I look forward to seeing you next week. And again, if you want to come see me in Charleston, definitely reach out. We will help set that up. Have a fantastic weekend. I will see you all very soon.